I've been kind of getting a lot into what what the mechanisms of control are, and I haven't really been telling my stories enough. So, you know, so when I was younger, I was hanging out with thugs. I used to go to the club a lot. Used to drive Santa Clara Avenue. Used to go to the east side a lot, west side a lot. Shout out to all the people I used to hang out with, and so on and so forth. Okay, um, as I'm sure there's people. Even as somebody hung out with thugs, people try to bully me. Some of the thugs I hang out with try to bully me. But it's not like I was bullied, because I'm not a punk, right? I used to take life very seriously. I used to ride around ready for war. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, that factors in, right? Society's attempt to kind of force you into a path, try to get you to define yourself a certain way. That's part of it. The cultures they allow complement the existing social control processes. Okay? For example, there's one female named Maria that I had a crush on at when I went to Live Oak High School in Morgan Hill. And you would not believe, I'm going to go ahead and say her name, no offense to anybody, but the name is significant in this. They planted this person in my life. Now, it sounds kind of crazy, but when you listen to me, you'll see that I'm right. Because her last name was Mello. Now, if this was just one thing, fine. But this was time and time again, like Cruella de Vil in the story 101 Dalmatians. Your name's a play on words for cruel devil. Okay? This was something that happened time and time again, and something that they're using supercomputers to do still. They believe in the occult, crafts, magic spells. In fact, I think I'll make that the picture. This one female, no offense to her, I'm going to use her picture because she put it on her page, and it's not the first time I've come across it, where they admit that they're being taught to do magic spells, not necessarily for anything illegal or wrong, okay? We're going to say for this particular person on the screen, but certainly a lot of people have been taught that for the purpose of dark psychology, of black operations, psychological operations. It's spelling, right? Casting a spell, right? Alphabet, right? Social order. Casting a spell. A caste system, casting for a play. The theater of war, the theater of love. They say all is fair in love and war, but it's not. You got to have a code or you're inhuman. Her name was freaking Mello. Her last name. And they were provoking me, and I was like in love at first sight. Now I don't feel anything like that now. And they used various people. You ever seen the movie, the cartoon? There's a cartoon movie called The Devil and Daniel Mouse. There's a character named Wheeze. When I first kind of came across her with somebody else, it was with this guy who's like Wheeze from The Devil and Daniel Mouse. Okay, now again, it is what it is. Some people are players, whatever. Let bygones be bygones. But when we put this kind of together, we see that the government was behind the scenes, and they were pulling their strings. Okay, they were using various modes of social control: direct communication, indirect communication. They're using various psychological techniques to guide the situation. So when all was said and done, okay, I went to this school in Morgan Hill with 2,000 people or so. There's like 13 black people in the whole school, okay? There's this white-skinned Hispanic female, okay? And her dad calls me because I at one point when she breaks up with that guy or whatever, I look up her name in the phone book and I try calling her. Now, some of you might feel that's some stalker shit, but it's not. In fact, if a hot chick called me, I wouldn't be like, you're a fucking stalker. If she's a brain surgeon's daughter and she's, the daughter of a humanitarian, I'm not like, what the fuck you calling me for? Okay? I'm like, no. You and everyone like you, go ahead and call me anytime you want, any time of the day or night. You know what I'm saying? So it's stupid to look at it as some stalker shit. It's some guy who's nervous, who wants to, because I tried approaching her. I walked right up to her and tried to shake her hand, ask for a number. It kind of went south. I wanted to kind of correct it. So I'm like, I'm gonna make this ballsy move, right? So, her dad ends up calling him back, and he's saying he's mad about it, whoop-de-whoop, don't call my daughter, what. But he also says, guess what race that she is. You can't make this up. The government knows I'm telling the truth about all this stuff. They know I'm an honest person. He said, guess what race that my daughter, who looks like she might be Spanish or something, is. And I start going through the list, including, I said, Colombian, Spanish, Mexican, I guess everything you can think of. And he says that I haven't guessed it right. That is a psychological technique to inspire racial animosity for someone you know that hangs out with Crips and so on and so forth, then I'm likely to say, no offense to anybody, I'm just going to, I'm likely to say something along the lines of, fuck what that, that person is, and in a call her the B word, call her racial names, call everyone their mom racial names, and likely to cause me to really lash out. So I was used to go on the internet and get on the mic and start telling people how I feel about it. So I was in the habit of lashing out, hanging out with thugs, being on the internet, like it all fed into it, right? And so, and again, I was looking for women on the internet. So here am I getting shunned in person, and I'm on Yahoo and MySpace, I'm getting shunned there. They didn't care. And people say, you have no game. When the top martial artist ever possible, who's the son of 2 doctors, one a brain surgeon, reaches out to attractive women, like all day, every day, so to speak, the problem isn't that he doesn't have any game. The problem is that they're dumber than fucking shit. Okay? Don't get that twisted. If someone offers you a free Lamborghini with dust on it, okay, which represents any possible discrepancy in my approach, which I use various approaches, and you reject it, is the problem that there's dust on that Lamborghini, or the problem that you're a dumb fuck? You see what I'm saying? And so, it's pretty straightforward, you know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't imagine, I've had people tell me I have the most soothing voice ever. Back in the day, now they change my voice and they feel me and they edit my voice in my videos. That's part of why. A very soothing masculine voice. I've had people say that I've had the deepest conversations with me. That they had the deepest conversations with me. I've had people say, that I'm the most romantic person they've ever met. And they said it in a very sincere way. That's not just, patronizing somebody. Not just saying that just because you say that to every guy. So you kind of can tell the difference. So when they said, that I have said the most lovely and romantic things because I was refining my ability to communicate romantic things to make sure that things went well. The government bent over backwards. Not only were there gays catfishing people on the internet, they hired gays to catfish people on the internet. They bent over backwards to make sure that I was shunned and to kind of do so to varying degrees to the rest of the population where they wanted to do it to them, right? So the people they wanted to have less romantic success, so they could have a bunch of bootlicking cowards going, yes, I get all the money and all the chicks, and I'm very successful, and you guys are losers, and act like a punk, and act like some kind of privileged, Freemason, crest-wearing, social club assisted, corporate sponsored, with a corporate bumper sticker on their left butt cheek type of sissy. Okay? One of the reasons why I detest arrogance, I don't like rich people, generally speaking, no offense to anybody, because they leverage that trickle-down blood money, that complicit with all the worst crimes that make a killing in business, despicable blood money. And they turn out people from every race. Every one of your races, part of me that's white, the white women in my race, the black women in my other race, they turn them out with rape cult, frat mocking a victim they ran a train on, type of blood money, sickness, garbage, fucking techniques. And San Jose's no exception to the rule. That's why you're walking your dogs thinking shit is sweet. While you're making these videos, I love San Jose. Don't forget that Satan is the god of this world according to the Bible. And God is truly the one true God, right? He's called the God of the world. And that people worship the fucking devil. And this is the county where they shunned the most righteous person that ever lived, the Christos, anointed with righteousness. Because they worship the devil. When we use a scale of universal moral precision, universally fair scale, factual scale, not a neocolonial book, but a factual scale, you get that conveyed focused moral intensity is greater than any other form of righteousness or perceived righteousness you've ever seen, and I've conveyed it to the highest level. Moral, spiritual, mental, and romantic prowess. And the government treated you all like lab rats and puppets. They treated you all like they're bitches, and there's no excuse for it. When all is said and done, the greatest injustice in human history will have occurred in the 408. Haters, Walter Pecks, Matrix motherfuckers and all, so to speak. King and Story. Whose story? The King of Kings. Thank you.